Welcome. And today we continue with the series on emotional resilience and aging gracefully. This session is on the elder's path, settling in to this stage of life. As you age, the rhythm of life slows, whether you welcome it or not. That slowing is a doorway, an invitation to settle more fully into presence. Mindfulness can help you meet this stage of life, not with resistance, but with grace. It's not about fixing anything or returning to how things used to be. It's about being with what is, just as it is, and discovering a quiet strength there, discovering more strength from within yourself. Much of life is shaped by roles: parent, worker, caretaker, achiever. But with age, many of these roles begin to fade. You may find yourself asking, if I am no longer that, then who am I now? Mindfulness can hold you in that question without rushing to answer it. It allows you to sit quietly with the truth that change is here, and in doing so, find peace rather than struggle. Mindfulness allows your own truth to emerge. Sometimes your truth is like a shy friend not wanting to assert itself. Mindfulness quiets your mind so that you can invite your truth to be known and felt. One of the core benefits of mindfulness at this stage of life is how it helps you move from doing into being. You don't need to prove yourself anymore. You don't need to chase one thing after another. The present moment is enough. Sitting quietly with your breath, feeling your feet on the ground, noticing the way light enters the room. These simple moments become full and rich when you give them your attention. Now, here's something you can try. Next time you find yourself longing for the past, notice the feeling without trying to push it away. Let it rise and fall like a wave. This isn't about denying your memories or pretending everything is perfect now. It's about being honest and kind with yourself. You can hold both the pain and beauty of your past and the reality of the present. Another practice is to become aware of how your body feels in a quiet moment of your day. Just notice. Instead of rushing to fill the time, pause. Place a hand on your heart. Feel your breath. You are still here now, still breathing, still alive in the world, still conscious and aware. This slower rhythm could feel empty at first, but give it time. Let yourself settle into it. It's in this quiet that a deeper voice within you can be heard, a voice that doesn't rely on titles, accomplishments, or doing. It's the part of you that simply is. Mindfulness doesn't promise to erase sorrow or bring back what is gone, but it offers something else, the chance to live these years with clarity, tenderness, and acceptance. By turning your attention inward, by breathing, by being present, by finding joy in the moment, you may find that this stage of life holds its own beauty, a beauty that doesn't shout, but whispers gently, this moment is enough. So now, meditation on settling into this stage of life. Sit comfortably. Take a slow, deep breath in. As you exhale, relax your shoulders and allow your body to release any tension. Begin to notice your breath. No need to change it. Just follow it in and out, expanding and contracting your chest. Feel your breath. Let your breath anchor you in the present moment. Notice your thoughts begin to slow. Now bring attention to your feet touching the floor, your body resting in the chair. Sense the weight of your body. Say silently, I am here. I am supported. As you breathe, bring to mind the changes that this stage of life has brought. Some may feel welcome, others may not. Breathe into whatever arises. Be willing to look into pain. Let each breath be a gentle companion to whatever you're feeling. Feel these changes in your body. Where do you feel them? How do you feel them? What ideas are associated? What or the feelings. Notice, then let the feelings pass through. Now see if you can name the roles and identities you've held: child, student, friend, worker, wife or husband, parent, helper, wage earner, planner, teacher. With each exhale, imagine releasing one. Not to forget, but to lighten the grip. Whisper inwardly, that role has done its work. I can let it rest. And shift your attention to this very moment. What do you hear? What do you feel? Allow yourself to be with the simplicity of now. There's nothing to do, nothing to fix, just this breath, just this moment. At peace with yourself, you have more to give. And now begin to return to your surroundings. Feel your hands, your feet, the air on your skin. Wiggle your fingers and toes. And when you're ready, open your eyes and carry this quiet presence with you through the rest of your day. And as we close, take a moment to acknowledge the stillness that you've touched, the breath that you've followed, and the truth you've allowed to surface. This stage of life asks you to slow down, but not as a loss, as an invitation. Let mindfulness be the way you meet this invitation, with presence, with kindness, and with trust in the quiet wisdom that lives within you. You don't have to go back. You don't have to figure out what comes next. You are already here, and that is more than enough. So thank you for being part of this time together, and may you carry this calm, this awareness into the rest of your day and the rest of your life. So, Doug, how was your meditation in the last week?
Not the greatest. Um, I got in a couple of meditations, but it was really not a good week for me.
Uh-huh.
But I'm still here and still kicking, and so there's hope for next week.
Uh-huh. And it's still a part of your life, even though there are some days you didn't do it.
Yes.
And I think that's the good thing. A big part of the meditation is just slowing down and being open to your life.
Yeah,
And
well, my body is not inviting me to slow down. It's demanding it.
uh-huh, uh-huh. That's the way it is, I think. How about you, Barley?
Pretty good. I got something in every day. I'm trying to get it earlier in the day. I think I
Uh-huh.
said last week, because if I wait too long, I fall asleep.
Right,
Um,
right.
and it's not
That
meditation, it's falling asleep.
uh-huh.
So, um, and I find that I go back to a lot of your groups like this group today and go to the part where you just lead us into the meditation and then it's absolutely quiet. And I've gotten so used to that it's, if there's too much chatter or music, it doesn't do it as well for me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Actually, me too. How about you, Joyce?
So we had the tile on our stairs done this week. And if you ever had that done, you know you have to re-clean it and the grout, 20 times. And I found that it's a really good meditative experience to just slowly clean the tile and just
Oh, yes.
meditate. And I actually found that to be one of my best meditations experiences. I mean, every day this week, it was really a positive experience. Not that I would want the tile redone every week, but something like that is a very positive meditative experience.
Uh-huh. I know what you mean. I remember doing uh service day at the temple of my teacher. And I remember just being sitting on the floor cleaning the molding. And unlike it when I did the task for myself, when I was doing it in that situation, I really wanted to do a good job. And just this simple task was very meditative. Funny how
Yeah.
it goes. So it's not what you're doing, it's, kind of what you're carrying with you while you do it.
Yes, and just being very mindful, no rush, nothing else in your mind, just a little physical movement.
Uh-huh.
Very positive meditation.
Very good. How about you, Carol?
Nothing new to report. I end my computer day with a meditation video, and then I go off and do some reading and stuff and try to then follow that by some of my own meditation. And it's easier with the meditation video,
Mm-hmm.
but someone guiding. But anyway, yeah, so I'm good. I feel like I'm doing well and being locked into that schedule. So it's good.
Very good. Very good. And so you built that habit and it just goes on now. Very good. Lamar, how's your week been?
It's been good. I have you said just then lock in. It's a habit every morning, and I may vary the time on the clock that I set anywhere from 5 to 20 minutes. And one thing I practice, what you mentioned last week, so I don't listen to any music anymore. Any of that, it's just silence. And you mentioned. The breathing thing of focusing the in breath, the out breath.
Yes.
And yeah, I part of me, I'm not sure part of me says, well, okay, I'm trying to just look at the back of my eyelids. I somehow it seems in time in the past, I've had more sense of just of a nothingness, whatever, that I don't have now. I wonder, I mean, is just focusing on breathing, is that say good enough, so to speak, of being meditative?
Focusing on whatever you are focusing on is good enough. If you're focusing on a big hole in the ground, that's great.
Okay. Well, yeah, a hole in my mind. I'll continue then.
Again, for me, I think one of the tricks that I have learned is focusing on something sensory is good for me because doing that kind of gives my mind a task to do. And when it has that task that it's doing, it's not doing all that thinking, getting in my way.
Okay. Is what about just listening to birds? Is that good?
I don't know. Again, I would say uh, measure it yourself by how much peace it gives you.
Okay. All
You know,
right.
because you have the best indicator in the world about how peaceful you are.
Okay. Thanks.
And so, you don't need somebody to confirm if you're peaceful, you know it yourself.
Okay.
And trust that.
Okay. Thanks.
Okay. Michael, I see your name. I'm not sure if you're there. I don't hear you there. So next, we have a video, and this is 15 things wise elders do that most people learn too late.
Have you ever noticed how some folks seem to age with a kind of quiet dignity? Their backs may be a little bent, their hands a little weathered, but their minds sharp as ever, their hearts full of stories, their spirits unshaken by the winds of time. They may not be on magazine covers, but they hold something much more valuable: wisdom, the kind that comes from decades of living, loving, and learning. And if we're smart, we'll slow down, sit beside them, and listen, because what they know might just change the way we live. They honor a slow morning. For the elders we admire, mornings are sacred. They don't wake up to the blare of an alarm and immediately scroll through a screen. Instead, they rise gently, often with the sun, and the first hour of their day, it's slow, intentional, and meaningful. They might brew a cup of tea, real tea steeped with care, or sit quietly by a window, watching the birds, listening to the world wake up. This quiet time isn't wasted. It's how they prepare their minds and hearts for the day. No rush, no panic, just presence. They keep their bodies moving, but gently forget expensive gyms or high-intensity workouts. Many elders follow one simple rule: keep moving. They sweep the porch, walk to the store, tend the garden, stretch in the morning, dance a little when a favorite song comes on. It's not about breaking a sweat. It's about staying fluid, keeping the joints happy, the blood circulating. Motion is medicine, and they know that. They eat close to the earth. You won't find heavily processed food in their kitchens. What you will find are ingredients with names you recognize and stories behind them. A basket of fresh tomatoes from the garden, beans slow-cooked with herbs, a homemade broth passed down from their grandmother. Meals are not just fuel, they're rituals, cooked with love, shared with family, eaten slowly. The secret isn't a diet, it's a relationship with food that's joyful, respectful, and grounded. They live with purpose. Big or small, Ask a wise elder what keeps them going, and you'll often hear this: I still have something to do. Purpose doesn't have to mean running a business or traveling the world. For some, it's feeding the stray cat every morning, writing letters to their grandchildren, tending to their rose bushes, teaching a neighbor how to knit. They wake up with a reason, however humble, and that reason keeps their spirit alive. They laugh a lot. You'll hear it in their voice, that soft chuckle, that belly laugh that fills a room. They don't take life too seriously. They've seen too much to be shaken by every bump in the road. They know that laughter heals, lifts, and connects. A good joke, a funny story from the past, a twinkle in their eye that says, I've been through it and I'm still smiling. That's the magic. They cherish connection over everything. Modern life can be isolating, but wise elders, they keep their circles strong. They check in on neighbors, call old friends, sit down for long chats over tea. They know that no amount of money or success compares to being truly seen and heard. Loneliness is a silent killer, and community, a warm, vibrant one, is the cure. They don't just build relationships, they nurture them like precious plants. They accept what they cannot control. Here's something beautiful. Many elders have stopped fighting the current. They've buried loved ones, faced hardships, lived through wars, loss, and change. But somehow, they're not bitter. Why? Because they've learned the quiet art of acceptance. They don't waste energy trying to control everything. Instead, they focus on what they can do and let the rest go. That kind of peace? That's earned, and it's powerful. They keep learning. You might think the older we get, the less we learn. But the wisest elders? They stay curious. They read, ask questions, try new recipes, learn to use a smartphone, watch birds and learn their names. Their minds are gardens, not museums. They don't cling to the past, they walk with it while reaching gently into the future. They rest without guilt. In a world obsessed with hustle, wise elders remind us, rest is not laziness, it's wisdom. They nap when they're tired, sit in silence without needing to be entertained, watch the sunset just because. They know that a rested body heals, that a quiet moment brings clarity. They've learned to honor their energy, not deplete it. They live with gratitude every day. And perhaps most importantly, they are grateful for the little things. Warm socks, a kind word, a sunrise after the rain. Not every day is easy, but every day holds something beautiful. And they know how to find it. Gratitude is not just a feeling, it's a lens, and it colors everything. They tell stories that outlive them. When elders speak, they're not just sharing memories, they're passing on pieces of themselves. They speak of love and war, joy and pain, of lessons learned the hard way. Their stories don't fade when they're told. They echo through generations, shaping the values of children, grandchildren, and beyond. Each tale, a thread in the fabric of a family. They let go of what no longer serves them. Over time, wise elders begin to release what others still cling to. Grudges, regrets, the need to be right. They understand that holding on too tightly only weighs the heart down. Instead, they choose peace over pride, forgiveness over bitterness. This lightness? It's not weakness, it's wisdom refined by time. They keep beauty close. Whether it's a flower on the table, a painting on the wall, or a song from decades ago. Elders surround themselves with beauty, not for luxury, but for the soul. They understand that a single poem, a quiet melody, or the color of autumn leaves can nourish something deep inside us. They teach us to pause, notice, and appreciate. Because beauty reminds us, life, even in its final chapters, is still a gift. They protect their peace. There comes a time when drama, gossip, and constant noise just aren't welcome anymore. Elders start to build boundaries, not walls, but gentle fences. not out of spite, but out of self-respect. They avoid what drains them, embrace what feeds them. They've learned that peace is precious, and they defend it with quiet strength. They celebrate the ordinary elders. Teach us that joy doesn't always come from big moments. Sometimes it's in the way sunlight warms the kitchen table, in a familiar tune hummed while folding clothes, in the scent of rain on dry soil. They've stopped chasing more and started savoring enough. They celebrate life in its simplest, purest forms. They know when to speak and when to stay silent. Wisdom isn't just in what you say, it's also in knowing when silence speaks louder. Elders listen more than they interrupt. They pause before reacting. They've learned that not every moment needs their opinion, just their presence. Their silence is not empty. It's full of understanding. And in a noisy world, that calm restraint is a rare and powerful thing. They practice patience with life and themselves. Wise elders aren't in a hurry. They've waited on seasons to change, wounds to heal, and people to grow. They know that most things, real things, take time. Patience isn't just about waiting, it's about how you wait. And they wait with grace. They forgive their younger selves, accept their aging bodies, and meet each moment without rushing it along. They teach us that patience isn't weakness, it's deep, quiet strength. They value what can't be bought. Some things don't have a price tag, and wise elders know those are the things that matter most. The sound of laughter at a family table, a handwritten letter from a grandchild, the comfort of a well-worn chair beside the fire. They've had enough time to realize possessions fade, trends pass, money comes and goes. But love, time, and peace of mind, that's the real wealth. They give without needing credit. You'll often find elders doing small acts of kindness, quietly without needing applause. They bring soup to a sick neighbor, slip a few dollars to someone in need, fix what's broken without being asked. They give because it's who they are, not because they expect something back. Their generosity is not flashy, it's steady, and it reminds us that the best giving leaves no fingerprints, just warmth. So maybe the secret to aging well isn't really a secret at all. Maybe it's in the quiet choices, the gentle rhythms, the deep breaths, the soft laughs, the warm hands that hold on, but also let go. If we're lucky, we'll become elders too. And when we do, let's hope we've lived in such a way that wisdom isn't just in our words, but in our very presence. Until then, let's listen, let's learn, and let's live with intention. Because the elders, they know something we don't, yet. So maybe the secret to aging well isn't really a secret at all. Have you ever
And now we'll spend a few minutes meditating ourselves. Mindfulness is present moment awareness, paying attention on purpose in the present moment, non-judgmentally. Fully receive whatever is experienced, then let it go. All right. And now we'll close with a chant. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om. Peace, peace, peace. All right. Uh, what did you notice meditating? What kind of insights did you have today?
Mind still wanders.
I'm sorry, what did you say, Lamar?
My mind still wanders.
Uh-huh. That's what minds do.
Mhm.
Finally, one thing that frees me from my mind's wandering is when I just don't pay it any attention.
Hmm. Hmm.
The mind only has the reality that I give to it.
Okay.
I
And
like,
so, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Thich Nhat Hanh. Now, you say it too, Richard, but Thich Nhat Hanh concentrates a lot on breathing in. You take a
Yes.
breath
Hmm.
and then
Hmm.
you breathe out. Like those are the two most important things that you can do. So, Lamar, you said you wondered about that breathing, I think, but
Mhm.
your mind is always gonna try to step in and think something.
Sometimes I find too, Lamar, particularly these chairs that I'm sitting here in the dining room, they're a little high and my feet kind of dangle. And if I just let them
Too.
dangle back and forth, my mind can focus on the dangling feet and not so much get carried away.
Uh-huh.
Thanks.
Again, there are lots of tricks, just like I said to Lamar, you can focus on a hole in the ground.
Yeah.
You know, it just needs to be something your mind will play with. And again, what you're trying to do is as you're paying attention to your breath, then uh, you've given your mind something to do. The Indians say that if you're walking around with an elephant, normally you just have to be careful because the elephant's trunk just goes this way and that and can knock things over. But if you give the elephant something to hold in its trunk, it will just be steady and quiet.
Hmm.
Definitely need to watch your step around elephants.
True.
Or watch its step. All right, good to see you and have good meditation and see you next week.
Thank
Namaste.
you.
Thank
All
you.
right. Thank you.